There are two things you can say about Keke Wyatt. The girl can sing, and she can procreate like it's her spiritual calling.
Not the spiritual calling.
Over the years, the powerhouse vocalist has delivered more children than chart toppers, leaving many fans wondering if she's more committed to contractions than contracts.
Bestie, you choosing violence today, ain't you? Yeah, girl, yeah, you is. Yeah, you is. Let's go.
Auntie Regina, I'm just telling it like it is. Because when someone has spent more time in labor than in the label's marketing meetings, you can't help but tilt your head and wonder, what the hell is wrong with this woman? Grab some snacks and get cozy, because we're about to take a deep and slightly unhinged dive into the haunted house that is known as Keke's uterus. But before we get into it, don't forget to scoop up something to munch on at rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of applewood smoked bacon jerky, freeze-dried goodies, and butter toffee peanuts. When she was 18, Keke discovered she was pregnant. The baby's daddy was her then-husband and road manager, Ramat Morton.
Now, you know how I feel about these women making their husbands their managers. You know how I feel about that? That is a hell no.
At the time, Avant's song, My First Love, featuring Keke, had just debuted, and people worried about how motherhood would affect her music career. According to the Christian Post, she was advised to terminate the pregnancy. However, that wasn't an option for Keke. She welcomed their son in 2000 and said, I gave birth, and after I gave birth, I was Keke Wyatt, and I'm still Keke Wyatt. On Christmas morning 2001, Keke and her husband got into a little disagreement. She grabbed a steak knife, and well, we're sure you can guess what happened next.
What in slice 'em and dice 'em is going on here? And on Christmas morning, girl, that's supposed to be the turkey and the ham, okay? Not him.
She was locked up and was facing 10 to 20 years behind bars.
When did you realize that, hey, this relationship sucks?
I realized it a year ago when I was sitting in a jail cell for 2 hours. Yeah, that's when it dawned on me. But then, since I did have a little one, I was like, okay, let me try to make it work.
Fortunately for her, according to Vibe magazine, her husband dropped the charges. When the magazine asked her if she thought people would always associate her with the domestic incident, Keke answered, people act like I'm the one that was the abuser and I'm the one that was doing the domestic violence. No, I was the one being abused and had to get myself out of the situation. She and Ramat welcomed 2 more children together. Not long after, she became pregnant for the 4th time, but heartbreakingly, the baby was stillborn. According to Essence magazine, Keke filed for divorce in 2009 after years of her accusing Ramat of putting his hands on her. She was looking for a fresh start, and it didn't take long for her to jump back in the saddle.
Yeehaw!
Keke once told Ebony magazine, from the time I was 5 years old, I said I was going to grow up and get married and have 8 or 10 kids. And she wasn't lying either. 1 year after filing for divorce, she married a man named Michael Ford, and she started popping out babies right away, 3 to be exact. She also embraced his daughter from a previous relationship as her own, making her a mom of 8. In 2012, she joined the cast of R&B Divas Atlanta. After starring on the show for 3 seasons, viewers started to wonder if maybe Keke was a little cray-cray. During an interview with Ebony magazine, Keke said, I think that people think I'm crazy, like really mentally crazy. If I was mentally crazy, I wouldn't be allowed to have all these children and take care of all these children without it being an issue.
Acting like doctors do a mental health check before these women open their legs. Dumbass crazy bird. Girl, if there was a license to have kids, there would be a lot fewer kids, including yours. Okay? Child.
After announcing she was pregnant with her 9th child in 2017, Keke told the Christian Post that God had anointed her for motherhood.
Or you ain't discovered birth control like the rest of us, okay?
She bragged that motherhood was one of her many gifts and talents. She explained, it can be difficult, but when you love something and are passionate about it, it's not really that hard.
Okay, girl, we'll take your word for it, Keke. We'll take your word for it, girl. More often than not, what happens with women who have a lot of kids like this is they don't do the raising, okay? They pop the babies out, but them older siblings end up taking care of their younger siblings, all right? So there's kind of a transference of motherhood, all right? I ain't saying she ain't there. I ain't calling Keke a bad mama. But y'all, just common sense. Only one person shared amongst All these kids, now you know they ain't enough to go around. And from those of y'all who are from big families, y'all put in the comments, it's just like that, ain't it? Tell me if I'm lying. Your big sister was the mama junior. She was the second mama in the household. I know I ain't lying. Confirm for me if you will, besties, down in the comments.
We all know that Keziah is getting ready to come home.
Oh, yay! Oi! Good, because when he's home, I'm going to need y'all to be with him so I can go to the studio. Okay, got it.
Huh?
When? She tried to sneak that in there.
I'll just take him to the studio with me with the nurse, and we just have all that crap hooked up at the studio.
That's cool.
They got a lot of plugs.
What you say, Raja?
So they got a lot of plugs, so he'll be fine.
Thank you.
In June 2017, Keke hopped on Instagram and revealed that her son had been diagnosed with cancer.
I'm going live on Instagram today, everybody, to shave my head bald to support my child who is fighting against cancer right now, who's bald too.
As of this video, her child is cancer-free. Keke and Michael were inseparable and went everywhere together. She told Essence magazine that he was way different from her first husband and was nothing but respectful towards women. She added, if he did anything crazy, I could call his family and they'd come set him straight. Well, months later, in September 2017, Keke, who was 8 months pregnant at the time, posted a video accusing Michael of cheating on her. She said he told her that he wanted out of the marriage because he thought she was untrustworthy.
You want to know something, America? When you 8 months pregnant and you got a child sick in and out of the hospital and your husband got the nerve to tell you that he wants a divorce because he says that you're an emotional wreck. He says that from the very beginning, you never trusted me and all that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, telling other people, other women that we getting a divorce and if she calls or it's like, what?
Keke said the real reason he was ready to dip out was because of his many side chicks. She told them other ladies they could have him because he wasn't even worth her time.
So 4 kids later and he ain't worth your time. All right.
The next day, Michael spoke to the Jasmine brand and claimed he was done with Keke's antics. He said while he had been her backbone for the past 7 years and would continue to be there for her and all of their children from previous relationships, he no longer wanted to be her man.
In other words, he said, bye, Ashley.
When I saw her post and her telling all those lies about me, I'm usually a man of few words, but this time it actually got a reaction out of me. You know, I just laughed about it. Really, it was funny. It's hilarious because it's all lies. And it's funny how she's trying to use her platform, you know, to uplift herself and play the victim role. And, you know, and it's wrong. It's all a lie. It's a facade. First of all, the divorce didn't get filed until February of 2018. That was after our son that was battling cancer was medically declared in remission. So he was already in remission before I left. It's ridiculous. Like, I've been over to get my kids per our court documents, and she's not letting me get them. She won't let me speak to them on the phone. She won't let me FaceTime them.
Michael explained that he couldn't allow his kids to continue living in a toxic environment. He called her a great mother, but stated she was in need of some healing. They went through with the divorce and got things squared away immediately. She gave birth to her 9th child in October 2017, and 1 month later, she married her 3rd husband, Zachariah Daring.
Not this again. And who got a husband just waiting in the wings like 30 days later? I mean, yeah.
In usual Keke fashion, baby making was in full effect. She announced her 9th pregnancy on Instagram in November 2019 and gave birth to her 10th child in January 2020. Her 11th child was born in May 2022. In a social media post, Keke opened up about her difficult pregnancy and how doctors advised her to terminate the pregnancy after the child tested positive for a rare genetic disorder. Keke wrote, "We believe the report of the Lord, and after holding our beautiful, healthy baby boy, Keziah, and looking into his eyes, I'm glad we did." In October 2023, Keke told Us Weekly that having 11 kids wasn't all that hard. Her secret? One-on-one time at the store, as well as studio visits for those who wanted to tag along. She was promoting her new reality show, Keke Wyatt's World, which she said offered a raw look at balancing motherhood and her career. It also became an emotional outlet as she opened up about postpartum depression and her kids' health issues. She said, "It's kind of like wearing a girdle or not wearing a girdle. Either you keep things in or you let it all hang out."
Yeah, that's one way to put it, I guess.
But life wasn't quite that easy. Keke spent much of that time in and out of the hospital with her youngest, who she revealed in February 2024 had 2 strains of COVID. Still, despite the relationship drama and parenting struggles, Keke wasn't done. She said she wasn't ruling out more kids, especially since she and Zachariah seemed to be in such a good place. But we're sure you've already noticed a pattern here. Keke loves to move on, and in June 2024, the Shade Room posted a video of her bowling with a man who was not her hubby. The internet went crazy, and amid the speculation, Keke confirmed she was no longer with Zachariah.
Girl can't just have a friend. Just gotta stop with all that. Girl can't just chill, just have fun, just having fun. Chilling.
She alluded to the fact that he had put his hands on her, so she moved on with a new man.
The same damn story every damn time, ain't it? Maybe Keke is the problem.
By this point, people were tired of Keke's antics. They wondered how a mother of 11 children even had the time to meet men and date. Critics have long accused her of being reckless, especially given her history of unstable relationships. Many even speculated that Keke was using her children as a way to hold on to men. And of course, we all know that babies don't fix broken bonds.
They call them Band-Aid babies, don't they, Bestie? Yeah, that's what they call them, Band-Aid babies.
People also called her out for always playing the victim, while some observers have even questioned her mental stability, noting that her behavior often seems erratic, especially for someone raising a full house. And while we're not diagnosing anyone, there is a thing called pregnancy addiction. According to the Springboard Center, it can serve as a coping mechanism for insecurity, unresolved trauma, or a need for validation. The praise and attention that come with pregnancy might feel like a high. If Keke has always been more validated for being a mother than, say, for her emotional needs, creative talent, or individuality, then having babies becomes her emotional currency. It's how she defines her worth. The danger in this is that kids become milestones, not individuals. The relationships around her suffer. Partners feel ignored, and the emotional needs of the children get buried under the weight of their mother's unmet needs. Then there's the chemical side. Pregnancy alters brain chemistry in ways many don't talk about. Oxytocin levels surge during pregnancy and birth, the same bonding hormone that floods the brain during romantic attachment. For some, this can create a natural high or sense of deep emotional regulation they can't access otherwise. After giving birth, when that surge fades and the postpartum crash hits, the brain, especially one wired for emotional sensitivity or past trauma, may crave that high again. Speaking of craving that high, in 2025, rumors swirled online that Keke was pregnant again. She shut it down in a video, saying she'd gained weight, but wasn't expecting. However, she added that she still wouldn't mind having another baby. Girl, give it a damn rest. If you enjoyed this video, let us know down below. And thanks for watching RRG.